What?
Your beard is out of control.
Oh, it's just getting started. If we're gonna do it, we got to do it.
I'm just getting started. Don't even get me started on this
Get me
thing.
started on this thing. This is just a
This
baby
is,
beard.
this is what I was born with.
This is
I've
how.
been drinking
This is
my
how
water waiting on you to show up.
sorry, I've been busy. I'm actually like you last week. I'm like no sleep. Just
Oh no, why?
I don't know. I don't have trouble falling asleep. I have trouble not. I have trouble going back to sleep if I wake up at like 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning.
Is tired the theme of the season?
Oh,
It's tired season. Chelsea said, "Is that the theme of the season?"
You're talking
yeah.
about
Oh,
episode.
season two, the tired season.
Season 2. Exhausted.
That's
That's no joke. That's no joke. I thought it was going to be time for the podcast. And I already complained about this earlier to Chelsea that my day felt so unproductive. And then when it felt so unproductive, the day was going, it was taking its sweet time getting started. Anyways, needless to say, I think we all know what's about to happen today.
we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Um,
Set our listeners up for what they're in for.
well,
Because you started this.
I thought of this.
You started
Oh,
this.
I
You
started
started
this with a
it.
little episode called "A Little Controversy," which I think was like our second or third episode.
Yeah.
We have a guest. The When we were on the float where we came up with a float, she was
Yeah.
on the float.
With
You were friends
us.
with her. I didn't really know her. Um, so then she was going to be our first guest on our first episode. Do you
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that?
I forgot about that.
She was going to be on the first episode, and then scheduling conflict, typical. She
Typical Taylor fan conflict.
typical Taylor fan, can't get anywhere on time, and one track mind. So it didn't work out. But then, funny enough, being a friend of the pod, like 5 days ago, she just listened to that episode from like
Yeah.
6 months ago. Um,
And do we have an excerpt of what she said, or we might have to edit one in because it was pretty good.
all right, I'm gonna put it right here.
I don't usually record myself just like this, like talking videos, but I needed to send this to you, Melissa. So Rager and we just got done with a run. We're training for a half marathon. And I was listening to, I don't know how, okay, so the podcast, I've listened to quite a few, and they're amazing. But for some reason, I don't know how I hadn't heard of the controversy one. Let me tell you, listening to Jake talk about Taylor Swift in such a disrespectful manner, it fueled my fourth and fifth miles so much. I was raging on that treadmill. I was running as fast as I could to try to hunt him down and beat his booty from the utter disrespect, the ignorance, the incompetence, the idiocy, the words coming out of his mouth. I almost had to change it, but like I said, it was giving me so much energy that I needed. I'm getting so heated just talking about it right now. And I know that podcast was recorded like 6 months ago, so I know I'm pretty behind, and I do apologize for that. But wow, the feelings are so real for me currently.
Wow,
Wow, that was wild.
strong words from our guest, Allie Young. Turn on your camera.
Allie Young Money.
Allie Young Money, ready to go, chomping at the bit.
No, you guys are
actually killing me.
So
The
now,
way you came on like a straight up New Yorker mom, fired up about your daughter Taylor.
check
Who
it,
said something about her? Who said something?
man. So you're obviously a big fan of the pod because you just listened to a 6 month
No,
episode.
it's not. It's not like that. It's not like that. It's not like that. I
That's what
have
every
listened.
Taylor fan says that we have on.
Yeah. Is that the name of a Taylor album? It's not like that. It sounds like something she would say.
No, okay. I have listened to many
Okay, yeah.
epis.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, the controversy, why have I not? Literally last week, as you guys said, I'm on the treadmill. It's a little plug in for me.
Fill 'em in on the sitch.
Um, and I was like, ooh, this one has some Taylor Swift tea juice.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me open this up. So I'm just running, and it did happen to be my long mileage day. So I was going to go for 5, which for me is a lot of miles.
Right.
2024 goals, baby.
But exactly. So by like 4th mile, I'm just like, yeah, let's play this casual, not thinking anything of it. When I tell you the second Jake started speaking, I was not okay. I I was just like, I can't believe I used to like this guy. Like,
Yeah.
I was just so shocked.
Mm-hmm.
I
Appalled.
literally told myself before getting here, I was like, I can have a civil conversation about this. Like, I don't need to use degrading speech.
No.
Pretend
I
you're
don't,
pretend you're a non-Taylor fan and can have a rational conversation.
I don't need to name call. But here I am.
When people listen to Allie's rant about how she said when Jake's words were coming out of his mouth,
No, truly in that moment,
she said
my
it
reaction.
enraged me so hard that I was on the treadmill. Like I envisioned her on the treadmill, and like the button was like the treadmill was going so fast, the smoke
It's
was just like
shaking.
billowing.
Did it make you
Yeah,
run?
the whole gym is shaking.
Did it make you run faster, or did it make you like stop in your tracks?
Oh no, she said she was
No,
fueled.
no. Now
Her
I don't
words
know if
were fueled.
Fueled.
I was enraged. I had so much energy from listening to our little Jakey Poo talk about T Sweezy. Um, and Melissa, I just love Melissa because Melissa and I have talked about Taylor Swift before, and she's like, no, like I want to be like I'm not a Swiftie, but I low key kind of want to be sometimes. Like I
Right.
don't get all the hype, but like
I
I'm here
want to
for
get
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So like Melissa's just this like neutral party, and then Jake is just raging.
I don't know
Hate,
about
hate.
raging. Okay, let's do this.
Wow. Okay.
Let's fast
Okay,
forward
okay.
6 months and let's just
Okay,
talk
yeah.
about the current state of Taylor Swift and where things are at with her. What did
That's
you
true.
not like about what I said then 6 months ago?
Wait for her to
Every
get out her
word.
like dialects. What's it called? The like flip thing that just number after number after number. That's
Yeah,
what I envisioned Allie. Like as you were speaking, she was like flipping through this old
yeah.
like
And another
directory.
thing.
And so another thing he said, Lucy, are you still there? Hello?
Okay. I don't even know where to begin here. Okay, no, honestly, I am not like, I don't even know what defines the word Swifty these days because I feel like they're full blown maniacs.
Okay.
Um, so I like want to naturally distance myself from the term Swifty, even though I am. Um, but I feel like Jake not relating to Taylor Swift is very normal because it is extremely female driven. Like her songs are like very from a female perspective usually.
Right.
And then also a lot of her like big hitting bangers are from when she wrote at like 15 years old. Like she has a very juvenile perspective on a lot of the like Taylor Swift songs that we all know. So
Yeah.
like for a man to be like, "Oh, I don't relate to," I'm like, okay, I get that. I do. But I think because I am like a solid millennial and Taylor Swift, I remember sitting on the trampoline. I was
Oh,
probably
here we
12
go.
years
Okay,
old.
here we go.
And I just
We're
remember just
going
being
into
like,
core memories now.
Core memory.
yes, I thought it's like I had been in the biggest breakup of my life, but I had like a boy had never even looked in my direction at that point. Um,
Prenate.
like I was relating so hard for no reason. Um, so yeah, I guess that's my little origin story for T Sweezy.
Okay, so my question is like, okay, because so for me, being a young 39, we'll say, leave that one alone, Jake. Um, so for me, I remember like listening to music and having that same feeling as like a young girl and being
Mm,
like, okay, why is this resonating with me? I don't really know what these feelings are that I feel. But I know
mhm.
that when I think about Devon Sawa while I listen to the Cranberries Linger, I am feeling like we're in love.
Right.
Did he respond to my handwritten letter? No, absolutely not.
Not yet.
Waiting.
Wait, didn't he die?
Waiting, Devon.
No,
Oh
he
my.
didn't die.
So I'm just saying, like, that part I get and I understand about music affecting people in like a very, very emotional way at a certain age bracket. And I think we talk about that a
Right.
lot in the podcast, like music affecting you at a
Yeah.
certain age. But I think for her, the only thing is, the only issue that I can't quite click in is because the lyrics that I was hearing when that same emotion was happening, the lyrics were to me seemed to be a little bit deeper. Like you had to kind of like really sit with it and listen to it over and over. Whereas like Taylor Swift is like, she's very literal, but then Lee's like, she's not literal at all. Like that song about the sweater, the
Yeah.
string of the sweater,
Cardigan.
cardigan. That one I could get. Like I was like, okay, this one's not literal. I get it. It's
Yeah.
romantic. I can get into that.
Yeah.
Some of them are
You're
just so
like
literal and
surface
like
level.
so surface level.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, now that I don't get, but people still
Yeah.
loved it.
But
Yeah. Like I'd say a lot of her songs were very basic when she first started songwriting. Like
Yes,
very
yes,
basic, like I'm a young girl. Like, because country
yes,
is kind of that style. It's very literal. It's very like, I'm telling a
yeah,
story. I was on sitting on a bridge when I was 14 years old. Like, very
yes,
like,
yes. I saw you
so,
and you were at the river's
right.
edge and wow. And
Right. So like
it's
country
true.
is kind of like that and still in a sense,
Yeah.
some country I will say. But like obviously as she's grown up, she's kind of evolved. She's done so many well, quite a few different, I wouldn't say so many, but quite a few different genres. Um, and as she's gotten older, her songwriting has just blossomed. Like you said, you saw the
I saw,
pond,
I saw
long pond.
stars in your eyes when you said that. You like looked off like you were.
I went cross-eyed.
This was like what she's
And she
become.
has
Just
really just evolved. And
True.
I am going to need a 5-minute break.
yeah.
No, but like, okay, so I kind of actually lost my way there for a little bit between like 2014 and 2017. I was not a full Swiftie. I lost my way and I regret those years. I can't get them back. But that's when I was in Nicaragua. I was just like, I didn't appreciate Red or Reputation as much because Reputation was very like, I'm a baddie and I don't care. And I was like, I'm not into this. I'm not into Reputation as much. But then Lover came out in 2019 and I was like, okay, wait a minute.
We're
Like,
back on.
wow. These are some bangers.
Okay.
And then 2020 pandemic, she put out two albums, as you guys probably know, one at
Yeah.
the beginning, one at the end of 2020,
Okay.
Phil
Folklore
Jake
and
in. Phil
Evermore.
Jake in. Once again, Phil Jake in.
Folklore and Evermore. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Folklore and Evermore, and that she started getting, as the term goes, very folky, and we were like, wow, this is very like,
When was that?
so 2020.
Oh, okay. So she
So
started
like
the pandemic.
she recorded both of those albums in her home. She created a studio in her home. And Melissa's
Wait.
laughing at the intensity that I am delivering at this right now.
No, you wouldn't believe how many
She
Nika
put
right
these
now,
on in her home.
Nika right now, Danica right now.
They were in her home.
Other people are really happy with your. Lee is probably happy with your.
Tea with Lee, and I have tea.
Tea with Lee. I know she's
Tea
ready
with
to be back.
Allie.
She's ready to be back. Okay, but Jake, I am curious. Now hold your spot, Allie. Don't forget where you were. But Jake, did you happen to watch? I don't remember if you said you did or not. That my eyebrows have been on for weeks.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Like your
did you watch that documentary on net? Was it on Netflix, Allie? The one about?
I think it's on Disney.
On Disney Plus.
Yeah.
About her?
It's not really about her, but it is her recording like the whole album. And that was like I watched that on like a winter day.
Yeah.
All the music, and it's filmed beautifully.
Yes.
That was like the first thing ever that I was like, okay, this I can get on board with.
No, that whole album, it's my favorite. So that's Folklore.
Okay.
Evermore, the one that came out later, is it's good. It's not as, I don't like it as much. Folklore is like I have the strongest feelings about as far as an album is concerned.
Okay.
And Melissa watched it, and I'm glad you liked it because it is very different. Her vocals, okay, so this is another topic because her vocals have always been very basic. Like she's not a vocalist, you know?
Yes.
But as far as Folklore is concerned, it like she just had so much range and depth in her voice where I was like, wow, this sounds stunning.
Yeah.
So much better than like before vocally wise.
Yes. Yes. Now, what's the album that came out the most recent one that has like every time it comes on my Spotify when I'm like listening to top hits, mainly to talk about it on the pod?
Yeah. Midnight.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm literally bursting at the seams.
I'm so glad I'm recording with Darren and Sean after this because I'm gonna need to like recalibrate the amount of like estrogen that's in the room right now. Like,
you know what?
On this Zoom right
now. Why don't you go have a tofu burger while you're at it?
No, Jake, you're awesome. You're just so respectfully listening, and
I know we want your input. Let
me ask you a question then. Is Folklore your favorite album of all time of any genre? Like that's the pinnacle of music for you.
Allie?
Of all time?
Yeah.
Gosh.
That's a big question.
This kind of leads to what I was trying to get at then, and I'm happy to revisit, is it's not that I don't like Taylor Swift. Like you said earlier, I have no reason to care about Taylor Swift because I'm like a guy and I know guys like Taylor Swift, but like it's not as much her that she makes music. It's like the fandom around her.
Yes.
Where it's like if you're like, she is the greatest singer-songwriter of all time, this album is my favorite album all time, then it's like I can kind of get the fandom level with how you feel about her. But if you're like, no, like obviously Whitney Houston's better or something, then it's like, okay, but you weren't that crazy about okay, like Papoose
as like a simple off the cuff example.
Like let's say you're like, no, Papoose has my favorite album of all time, but I'm just really into Taylor Swift right now. Then it's just fandom around her, the worshiping her, everything she does and says. That part is kind of
that's annoying.
That's over the top for me. So that was where I was trying to go with that. the controversy is not that I don't think she's a good singer songwriter or that she can't, like, she isn't good at what she does. It's that it feels like every year there's going to be like a new person that everyone is obsessed with. And that part
Yes.
is where I'm like, aren't you just
So you're saying
caught
like
up in something?
what you're saying, Jake, is like, are you part of like this is like a 20, like let's say 1 to 2 year super hyper obsessed fandom, or you're saying have you been obsessed with her since like
Oh, it
2015
it
now?
sounds like Allie was. But what I'm saying is like last year, the year before, Harry Styles sold out New York for like 20 days
Yeah.
in a row or something like that. And then
Yeah.
that felt like this, the fandom was Harry Styles. And then this year the fandom has been Taylor Swift. And I've said
Yeah.
that to people and they're like, no, this is different because she did blah 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 and she whatever. But then it's like next summer, is it still going to be Taylor Swift? Is everything that you're saying now, or is it going to be like uh
A different person.
someone else that,
Yeah.
Well,
like,
That is a
especially
good
because I
question.
feel
like will
like
it be Dua
on,
Lipa next year or something like that? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like Dua Lipa is kind of like that underrated pop girl that just is kind of like remaining at a certain level at all the times.
Until 2024 summer hits and maybe she's,
I mean, if
This
she
is
has
on record. The Dua Lipa hits
if
us
she hits
2024.
if she hits
Dua Lipa,
2024, then
for
yeah.
prophecy sake,
It's a prophecy. Okay, so like the fandom, yeah, like I don't know the names of Taylor Swift's.
Taylor
I think it's
Swift.
pronounced Swift, but I'm not sure.
I don't know the name of Taylor Swift's cats or where her houses are. I don't know any of
Right.
that, but I will geek out on her music 100%. Like,
Then I'm cool
so
with that.
yeah, like songwriting wise, I know this is the hill everyone dies on. She's an absolutely incredible songwriter. And why folklore was so different, which they do explain in the little recording that Melissa was referring to
Yeah.
earlier, is so she's usually always writing from her perspective in her music. Um, she's always done that. And that's actually what has made her so much of a hot topic as far as like her love life, and people have so much opinions. It's because she
Yeah.
weaves all that into her music. So she's very specific with the things she says. She'll say, I was wearing a little black dress on a yacht in Geneva and blah, blah, blah. And they'll be like, oh, okay, so we know you're talking about blah, 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 because in 2018, you were with so and so. You
So
know
and
what I
so
mean?
on a
So
yacht.
yeah, so she does, like, her music is so encrypted, and it is kind of fun because she does make it so complicated. It's like talking about Marvel with a boy, talking about Taylor Swift with a girl. It's like it's so webbed, like,
Talking about
Yeah.
what?
and what?
Talking
Marvel.
Marvel,
what's
like
oh,
like the movie,
Marvel the
like
movies?
superhero,
Characters.
Oh yeah.
like
Jake,
it's
come
so.
on.
Sorry.
Oh, come on. Are you into Marvel or
No.
no? A
Um
lot of men are.
I don't care about uh Marvel or the other one.
Superheroes.
You know.
Yeah. So like
You're
it's
learning so
very,
much about what Jake doesn't like. He does like things.
I
yeah.
do like things, but we talk a lot about what I
He's
don't like.
only talking about things he doesn't like,
No,
apparently.
that's okay. You don't have to. Um, no, but okay, let me just wrap this dumb little point I have up.
Oh,
So
we have time.
With Taylor
Your
Swift,
time.
she has always just put her love life into her music. And so then now she is a subject for judgment. And that she's done that to herself. And I don't know if she ever, I think sometimes she probably does regret doing that. But I think that's what makes her
Mm.
so authentic is a lot of artists will distance themselves from the lyrics they write because they don't want to do that and put themselves on blast. Taylor Swift does not do that. She fully sends her own personal stuff to
Yeah.
the world. So I think that's why Melissa was saying earlier, it's like she couldn't put it into words what she was trying to say. I think you were, Melissa, like
Yeah.
there's just like this crazy emotional connection. I
Yeah.
think that's what it is it's like she lets us in on so many details of her life over a 20 period span
Yeah.
that like if I had been listening to Jake's music and his lyrics for the past 20 years, I would have a connection with Jake, even though Jake didn't know who I was. Because it's like I've been let in on all his muses, his thoughts, his feelings, how they've changed. It's like she's just released so much content for listeners that like we have just this like connection with her because no other artist has put out like 240 songs the way she has, and she's still pulling them out of the vault. She still has songs that are written that she just pulls out of her butt and releases.
Well, and she's close, but she hasn't dated everyone yet.
No, she hasn't.
Okay, but I will say, I feel like what's interesting about that is that it is true. First of all, let's say when she first started and she was putting out like all of her personal crap, it wasn't just like, I love this guy, or like, let me take a guess at what that means. It was more of like, no, people that listened to her album or songs were like, no, she's talking about Jake Gyllenhaal, period. Right. Then they would like post the pictures of like her and Jake Gyllenhaal on a walk. And in the song, it would be like, me and your red scarf, we're on a walk. And it's him with a red scarf and they're on a walk. And everybody's like, oh, I know it's Jake Gyllenhaal. So probably most female artists haven't said that much intimate details about their love life openly to billions of people, millions, trillions of people. Right. So it's like the vulnerability is there, the opening up, like, girls, you hear me, are you feeling this? Like, so girls can connect with other girls like in that way. And some men
I'll give you that point.
And that she's so like age, like when I went to the movie, the Eras movie, where in case people don't realize, this is
what is that movie
concert
about? What is
so that it's movie? Basically a filmed concert. It is her Eras concert. Eras are all the albums that she's released. It's a mixture of everything on her Eras tour. Eras.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I kept thinking it was Eris, like Gemini Eris.
Oh no. No. Taylor would never.
Taylor would hate that.
Oh yes.
It sounds kind of dumb, like, because you're just like, what? But it's basically like a filmed concert, and a lot of us cannot afford to go to Taylor Swift concerts, so they made it accessible. It was $19.89 to get a ticket, which is one of her albums. 1989 anyways, but with tax it turned into a different number.
They made the price.
Ticketmaster did
movie one of her album.
It's just she's too much. There's just always something going on with that girl.
Layers.
There's so many layers.
What's your age versus hers? Are you the same age?
You really don't want to know. I am only 28.
So you're younger than her. So you would have by a few years.
She's 30. She's 33.
Okay, so you grew up.
Is she 34?
I don't know. 33.
1989. 1989.
I thought you were like 20.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
And I thought she was like 22. I don't know. I think I'm 27. So who knows?
But you
right? No, that's because you're 29.
Yeah.
At this concert, the Eras concert, there's like, it's a very weird thing. There's like, you're at this concert, there's like 5-year-olds in the front in princess dresses, like dancing to her older songs like Enchanted and Love Story and Tim McGraw, and like somehow her music connects to like 5-year-olds and then also like 60-year-olds and then people like me. Like, she has such a repertoire that she reaches age, like all sorts of age groups. It's very odd. How I'm like sitting next to a 5-year-old who also knows all of her lyrics as well.
That is weird.
But she's just like it.
Yeah, I'm picturing Jake like at a concert like of Oasis, and there being like a little boy next to him, just like Wonderwall, and like he's just like, wow, this is really making sense what Allie said about Taylor now.
No, I'm getting it. It's like she's transcended age groups. So like young people are coming up with her, and then Allie, who's a few years younger than her, would have grown up with her, part of her life the whole time. And then, except for a couple of years where he took some time off from her.
Right.
And I regret those years.
And she regrets those years. And now Taylor's been such a part of her life that, and she's seen the progression. It means something more than just like a pop singer that she likes a lot.
Right.
So it is a lot more. So then it does transcend what Jake was saying earlier when he was like, is it just the moment or is it more than that? So you're answering that on this podcast. You're saying the reason why you were enraged on the treadmill is not because you were mad because you happen to like Taylor Swift right now. It was because it does have a deeper meaning effect on another level. It's not just she's a pop star that got famous this year. It's like, it's more. It is the deeper meaning stuff.
Yeah. And like I said, I definitely don't stand behind the whole like obsession quality of Taylor Swift, but I think I don't think people give her credit for what she deserves as far as like her performances and her songwriting. So just a couple little stats. She has written or co-written all of her songs, over 240 songs.
Props.
She's been either written completely or a part of. She's also written songs for other artists, which people don't realize. And where were they going with this?
Stats.
Oh yeah, she started songwriting at like 12 years old, and like I said, those are pretty juvenile lyrics, but she has like definitely gotten deeper and deeper. And I remember you said, Jake, on a different podcast, like, how can we possibly relate to a millionaire? It's like, it's true. Like has been famous for so long. Like, how can we possibly relate to someone who's so famous? But somehow she does it. I don't know how she does it, but she does.
Somehow she manages.
Because she's a billionaire now this year, according to Forbes. 1.1 billion. It's crazy. And I don't know if you guys know this. Maybe I'm like beating a dead horse here. But all of that, why it's such an incredible feat, maybe you already know this, is because that was all through music. All of her money is through music. It's not through cosmetics like Rihanna, lingerie lines like Rihanna, alcohol lines like a lot of rappers do, real estate, although she does have some real estate, but it's very little. She has made all of her
money through
music. And this woman is 33, she's not she's performing for like 6 hours. The fitness that her voice and body is in to do what she does. She is performing this Eras tour over 150 times.
Yeah, I do feel like her body and her voice have to be on a level of basically like Travis Kelce, maybe better.
Yeah, in a sense, and in heels.
And no joke, like that's insane that she's not broken her leg.
No, she's incredible. Like she works so hard with like her music. Like she's already so famous. Like she does not need to be doing the most all the time, but she's doing the most all the time. Like she can definitely relax, but she does not relax. She's constantly popping off with music and bangers.
Okay. I think you've
wow. I love that.
You rebutted my feelings on her in a proper way that hopefully.
Okay, what about this? Why doesn't Jake watch that movie that we were talking about? And then we'll come on and talk about your thoughts about the movie where Allie's not bullying you. She's hearing your thoughts about the movie.
Okay, I'll watch it.
That means you have
to. You will?
I'll watch it.
You will?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Chelsea, write that down. It's in the contract. It's in the contract.
Wait, what did he say he would watch?
And he's going to watch that movie, Folklore, on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Are you going to watch the Eras tour, or are you going to watch the Folklore Long Pond?
No, I think he should watch the Folklore first. We'll see if we can get him through that.
I don't need to just.
Chelsea would like it too.
Yeah.
Chelsea wants to watch it. She wants to watch it, so we'll watch it.
So good. Okay, so yes, I'm excited.
but I'm gonna find something you have to watch.
Oh, okay.
If it's about
Wait,
if it's
me
and too
or
late.
Melissa?
Both of you.
Okay.
Well, you'll have to text it to us because there's no way you have something off the cuff like this that's this serious.
No, I have to think about it.
He's gonna have to put some thought into it,
Yeah,
and
'cause it's gonna
I'm
be
ready
like-
for it.
Something
it's gonna
that,
have to be a
something
big-
musical. It'd be like a different artist, but something that like not a rebuttal, but just like, okay, I'll ingest this whatever Taylor
Mhm.
Swift thing, but you have to open up your
Heart.
heart to something else.
I absolutely will. I absolutely will.
Okay, and then we're gonna
Jake,
have
I
Allie on.
respect you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you.
You're
Love
my
you too.
bro.
Yeah. Oh man.
After I ripped him apart.
This should have happened like 6 months ago when we started this pod.
Funny story.
When you were supposed to be the first guest.
Yeah, funny
We had
story.
so
This is
much
our first
fun.
guest. Now this is conspiracy number 2.
I did not think you guys were going to be so dedicated to the pod as you guys are. You guys are amazing. You really.
I didn't think Jake was going to be this dedicated, and I knew I wasn't going to be. It's all Jake. It's all Jake.
But here we are.
He's like literally the ringleader. Like we could not do it without him and Chelsea being like, "Hi, are we potting? Hello."
Yeah, you guys make it happen. Incredible.
Yeah. Oh my god.
All right. Well, let's we should give you a song. Let you put a song on the pod.
Okay. Yeah, Allie, what's the song? It's got to be T Swifters.
It has to be T Swifters because I was gonna.
I guess not. I guess
I
not.
could.
No.
I can do whatever.
Or can she do 2 songs?
She can do as many as she wants.
It's like such a friend. Like Melissa's like, can my friend do like more than one?
She's gonna do T Swift, but I want more.
Okay. So a Taylor Swift one. Listen to Lavender Haze, but the acoustic version of it. It is beautiful.
Okay.
It's on the most recent album. You've probably heard of it. It's the first song that's on the album, Lavender Haze, and it is nice. It's like has a little bit more of a production, but in the acoustic version, it's stripped back and it's really cool.
All right. I'll listen.
Okay.
So I get a second one.
Then your other song, yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is all such a privilege.
So
I'm looking at my Spotify right now. That's why. Okay, so how about Thames? Have you guys heard of Thames?
T-I-M-S?
T-E-M-S.
T-E-M-S.
Okay, so I love Afrobeats and like neo soul. And like R&B. She considers herself R&B. She's Nigerian, but she has like the most beautiful, like I think it's called the lowest register of a female voice, which is the contralto. She absolutely slays my soul every time she starts singing. Beautiful voice. So probably my favorite song from Thames is Free Mind.
Free Mind.
Yes,
right.
Free Mind.
They're going
That's a
on.
good one.
Okay, you go, Jake. I'm still deciding.
I'm gonna do a song called Head in the Ceiling Fan by Title Fight because it reminds me of a lot of the bands that I would listen to when we were snowboarding a lot, and it's snowing outside right now.
Nice.
And I really like this band Title Fight. And they broke up. Like I just found them and they were only together for like a few years. So I'm a deep dive on them. And then yeah, I like them a lot. You have less than a minute, but go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna do oh my gosh. I don't have a good song this week. I just don't.
You have good songs every week though, Melissa. You really do.
All right. Let's do West Coast by Lana Del Rey.
All right. We don't have any Lana. That's a good one.
Yeah. I started listening to Lana again and she's killing it. She's always killing it. Well, this was amazing, guys. I love this. And I can't wait to take feedback.
Thank you so much.
We'll get feedback. Woo-hoo! We kept the peace.
I am so sorry I talked so much. I didn't realize it was timed.
We are gonna put that video that you sent us. can I post the video that you sent Melissa on the pod?